can determine the meaning of a word using clues in the text around it. So that's what we're going to practice today. We're going to practice using words in a sentence to figure out a word that we don't know. Now, in our book, The Boy Who Loved Words, the story that we heard yesterday, there were a lot of words that we didn't know. There were a lot of big words, unfamiliar words that we had never heard before. So, when there are a lot of words that you don't know, it's kind of hard to read, right? It's kind of hard to understand what it's talking about. So, we're going to use our context clues, our words in the sentence around an unfamiliar word, to try and figure out what that word could mean. And that's what we're going to practice today, after we answer our text-dependent questions. So, the first thing that we're going to do is work on annotating our text so that we can answer our questions really easily. So, I'm going to give you a copy of the story. Take one and pass it around to the rest of your group. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your pencil, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean when I say this, but you're going to take your pencil and you're going to annotate the text, which means that you are going to underline what you need to know and what's important to answer the questions. Yes, Tyler? You need one more? Okay. Does anybody have an extra one? Okay, I think we're good. Now, this is the first part of the story. It's on your page, but I want you to look up here for right now. I'm going to read through it, and when you're answering your text-dependent questions, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to read over the questions to see what you need to look for when you're reading the story. So somebody, look at page 7 and tell me what the first question is. Sanaya.
According to the story, what are some examples of things that people collect? Use details from the text to support your answer.
Okay, so we need examples of what?
The text.
Well, we need examples from the text, yes, but what was the question asking for?
What are some examples of things that people collect?
Examples of things that people collect. So that's what we're going to look for when we read through our story, because that's what we need to answer our question. So let's read the first paragraph. Somebody, Cameron, can you see? Can you read this for me? Or you can just read it from your paper. Go ahead.
These are in this world people who are born collectors. Some collect the shells or stones of other creatures. Some have even been known to collect tiny teaspoons, such as one was
Selig.
He was a collector of wood.
Okay, so in that paragraph, that first part, I see some things that people collect, which is the answer to our first question, right? So I'm going to underline some of the things that it says people collect. Kayla, what are some of the things?
Teaspoons.
Okay, it says people collect teaspoons. Oh, it's not going to let me write. But I would underline, some have been known to collect tiny teaspoons. What else could I underline? Krishan? Stones. Where is that one? Yep, right there. I would underline that. Silver?
Feathers.
Feathers. I would underline that. Very good. Asia?
Shells.
And shells. Yes. Anybody else see anything else? Sanaya?
And words.
And words. He collects words. Very good. So all of those things I would underline. And what I'm going to do to help me answer my questions really quickly, once I get to that part, I'm going to write a number 1 out beside what I underlined. Because what question does this go with?
Number one.
Number 1. So everything that I underlined for a number 1, for question number 1, I'm going to write a number 1 out beside that, whatever I underlined. So that I know when I'm looking back, this goes with question number 1, and I can do it really quickly. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to work for 10 minutes. You're going to read through these questions first. There's only, because we've already done the first one, there's only 3 of them that you need to do. So we're going to work for 10 minutes. You're going to read the questions first, and then you're going to go back and read your story and look for evidence that answers those questions. Remember to underline and write the number of the question that evidence goes with, right? Give me a thumbs up if you understand what to do. Thumbs down if you still need a little more explanation. All right. It looks like most people are ready to go. If you still need help, you can raise your hand once we start, and I'll come and help you out a little bit, okay? So we're going to do our timer like we did yesterday. Y'all can go ahead and get started. Remember to read the questions first. No, you're working independently for right now.